Aren't you there to find a way to get stuff done as opposed to just being an impediment to what Trump wants? How much work goes into that? I'm just going to go off about Trump, cuss him out every chance I get, say the most derogatory, incendiary things imaginable, and that's my day's work. That ain't work. Work is saying that's the man in power. I know what his agenda is. I'm not exactly in a position to stop him since the Republicans have the Senate and the House. But maybe if I'm willing to work with this man, I might get something out of it for my constituency. Because like Joe Manchin said, he's there to represent, or was there for 15 years to represent, the people of West Virginia. She's supposed to be there to represent the people of Texas. I don't know. Maybe that just sounds ignorant because it's so simple. But it ain't that damn complicated. We make it complicated. Damn, it's frustrating.
All right. Hey, man, I feel you, Stephen A. Hey, what's going on, people, man? Hey, man, I'm a little bit too big on the screen. Let me back up a little bit. Yeah. What's going on, good people? Had to come in studio for this one, man. You know what I'm saying? Just to change things up a little bit, you know. But yeah, man, as promised, I'm back. Peace and blessings, everybody. It's your boy, Jay Taylor. Hope that you had a great weekend on this Monday morning by the time y'all catch this video. But, man, as you can see in the beginning, man, you know what I'm saying? It's going down. And we, as promised, I'm here to do this further breakdown about the whole situation involving Stephen A. Smith and Jasmine Crockett. And as the title says, the Black liberals versus Stephen A. Smith over Jasmine Crockett. A closer look. Yeah, man, I thought that this was a good opportunity to kind of dissect what's going on with this situation as it illustrates, right, like a broader disconnect in the Black community between mainly the Black liberals and the Black conservatives. The mindset, you know what I'm saying? Like Stephen A. Smith raised some, to me, some very legitimate questions, right? You know what I'm saying? Like Jasmine Crockett, you a congresswoman, but it seemed like you doing more going back and forth with Trump than you is passing legislation. Make no mistake, in Congress, y'all lawmakers and creators. You know, so man, for me personally, after looking at this situation deeper, I really honestly believe Jasmine Crockett don't care about passing no legislation. She's just trying to line herself up so she can be in a reality star type situation eventually. That's what I look at Jasmine Crockett, man. I don't look at her as trying to make a change in the community. Her district that she represents is, you know what I'm saying? She doesn't do anything to in Texas that Black people should be out here camping for her so heavy, you know. And I think it's like this cult-like mentality in the Black community amongst the Black liberals that if you disagree with them, they're gonna attack you. You a coon. If you disagree, you gotta be all these things, though, right? Just for asking a legitimate question. Now, before we get off into the commentary, and I'm gonna elaborate on that, you know what we gotta do. And as always, you know what I'm saying? One second. Let me get this here. Here we go. All right. Sorry for the wait. We're going to get this together, man. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowances made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is the use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. All right. We are busy. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, it's one of those situations where, and I've been saying, I think Stephen A. Smith, he's being under target because he has a huge platform, and as a black man that's in his position, the liberal black people feel like, man, how dare you criticize a black woman in front of the white man? You know what I'm saying? That's like, he didn't say anything disrespectful, but it's a cult-like I said, it's a cult-like mentality that you can't disagree with the status quo of the community. When you disagree with the black community, you know, the community that is always talking about white supremacy and, you know, white men on their back and all that. Like, I know, you know, racism exists, but these people make that an excuse for everything, though, right? Like the white man we still in slavery times, according to them. But man, let's take a look at exactly what Stephen A. Smith was talking about. This whole back and forth between Jasmine Crockett and Donald Trump. You know what I'm saying? It's more performative than politics. Like, they not going back and forth over policy. They just throwing insults at each other. You know what I'm saying? So let's take a look at what Stephen A. was talking about exactly. This is just an example. This is a brief example of what he's talking about. But let's look at this.
They understand the importance of standing for what democracy is and making sure that it does not fall by the wayside. They understand that we have a Timo Hitler in the White House right now that thinks that he is going to become the dictator of the United States.
A new person named Crockett. I watched her speak the other day. She's definitely a low IQ person.
Listen, Donald Trump is a piece of shit. Okay, we know that. Yes, he is. He is.
I mean, when you have low IQ people like Crockett, she's a very low IQ person.
So, unfortunately, we have someone that is occupying the White House. And as far as I'm concerned, he is an enemy to the United States.
You know, AOC, look, I think she's very nice, but she's very low IQ. And we really don't need low IQ. Between her and Crockett, we're going to give them both an IQ test to see who comes out best.
He also called you low IQ. I'm sure you're aware of that. Would you be willing to take an IQ test publicly, head-to-head against the President of the United States?
Absolutely.
Now, I took my test. I took a real test at Walter Reed Medical Center, and I aced it. I got every one of all those questions right. Now it's time for them to take a test.
So took this as an opportunity to, again, flex on MAGA and let them know that I will always be smarter than you. I actually wanted to be an anesthesiologist. So I've always been really good at math and science.
There's an article that just came out that said that actually the most educated demographic in this country right now is Black women. The fact is, stop trying to act as if only white men are the ones that are capable. Because right now you're sitting at a table with 3 very capable Black women.
Is she the dumbest person in the House of Representatives?
I'd be hard-pressed to find someone dumber.
You had said that last time you were here, Marjorie Taylor Greene was the dumbest person in Congress. Is she still the dumbest, or has that crown been taken from her?
No. She's still winning, honey.
You look and you compare me to Marjorie Taylor Greene or me to Lauren Boebert, there is no comparison. It is not a criminal violation to enter the country illegally. It's not a criminal.
Did she just say it's not a crime to enter the country illegally? Did she just say that? How? Now that's an oxymoron, right? Illegally, but it's not illegal. It's not a crime. I thought anything that was illegal was a crime. Things that make you say, But let it continue.
Criminal, it's a crime. It's not a crime, which is why they're so frustrated, because they really want our local law enforcement to go out and round up people. So I had to go around the country and educate people about what immigrants do for this country, or the fact that we are a country of immigrants.
Right.
The fact is, ain't none of y'all trying to go and farm right now. You're not. We done picking cotton. We are. You can't pay us enough to find a plantation. The value of X is 75% lower than it has ever been. So if I am going to go look for somebody to run a business, I'm going to look for someone who is going to run one successfully. And before people start screaming and yelling about, well, he's a billionaire. Yeah, when you know the right people and they'll just give you money, then you can become a billionaire too. And maybe one day all of us will have that kind of access. When I first became a public defender, I had no criminal defense experience. And I walked in and I told my boss, Charlie, I said, listen, you should hire me. He said, why? I said, because I'm Black. Charlie looked at me like I was crazy.
All right. So we see that, man, so we get an idea of what Stephen A. Smith was saying, whether you like Jasmine Crockett or you don't. You know what I'm saying? One thing you got to say about the lady, man, she's an intelligent girl, intelligent woman. I don't want to disparage the sister, but you know what I'm saying? She does have a way of communicating. As far as being a politician, it's not quite like the normal, like, you know what I'm saying, politician way of communicating. You know what I'm saying? But as you can see, her and Trump having this back and forth going on since he been in office. Even before he was in office, she was on his bunker, on his heel. You know what I'm saying? He firing back when he can. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, like, my thing would be, she more capped for illegal immigrants than she do Black people. Her whole district in Texas, in Dallas, is Black. But she ain't really doing nothing for her district, hasn't passed any notable legislation or put nothing in place for Black people, but she sure been capping for illegal immigrants. You know what I'm saying? What you mean? So for these Black people to come out and be so gung-ho over what Stephen A. Smith said when we opened up the clip, he didn't say nothing wrong. But man, you got Roland Martin and all type of people out here. Let's bring up Roland Martin and his panel on what they had to say. You know what I'm saying? Just to get, we're gonna run through some of these clips so you can see what the community had to say to Stephen A. Smith. They were not feeling Stephen A. Smith, man. Like I say, it's like a cult, though. You can't disagree. If you disagree, you're going to be under attack, bro, with the community. So let's get into this clip right here.
So, it's very interesting to me, Ome Congo, when you have sports commentators who veer into politics, who want to chastise Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett as saying somehow she is being too loud, abrasive, and ineffective, when clearly that was not the case. She laid out a very cogent argument there. I guess that's the difference between those of us who actually follow her work as opposed to those who just run their mouths about her work.
Yeah, and Stephen A. Smith has been running his mouth a lot, as he's always running his mouth, and he just has a particular disdain, it seems, for Black women and Black women who are doing powerful things. And Stephen A. Smith doesn't really even appear in Black spaces like that to be able to even have a comment. He needs to leave her alone. He's spending all of this time talking about, you shouldn't bite the hand that feeds her. You don't want to upset the boss. Trump is not her boss. Her boss is her constituents, and she's out there every single day fighting for them. And I just heard a story over this.
Hold fast, bro. Hold fast. How is she fighting for her constituents? And Trump ain't her boss. I guess you could, say that. But this is the man that has the power to give you federal funding for whatever you feel as though your constituents could use. You know what I'm saying? So it just only makes sense to work with the president, even if you don't like him, because it ain't about your feelings. And I think that's where we go wrong with this whole thing with politics. Identity politics never got nobody anywhere just because they Black. Look what's going on in Chicago with Mayor Brandon Johnson. We got a black mayor that's throwing Chicago completely under the bus. Just because he a black man, does that make it okay? Just because Jasmine Crockett is a black woman does not give her the excuse to do a shitty job. The excuse to be in a position of someone that could possibly pass legislation to help black people, she's not doing that. But just because she's a black woman in position that ain't doing nothing for black people, Stephen A. Smith can't give her no criticism. Come on, man. I don't understand these black liberals over here with their outrage when he's just being critical of how she moving. He trying to give us some game, low key. But like I said from the beginning, I don't think that's Jasmine Crockett's aim. Jasmine Crockett is cosplaying, first of all. All this hood chicks energy that she out here, perpetuating that whole personality. Listen, Jasmine Crockett grew up upper middle class to wealthy. She went to some of the most prestigious colleges and universities in America. She didn't grow up in the hood whatsoever. So that's that sister girl act, all that's an act. That girl went to Ivy League colleges, was a lawyer. She's very educated. So she playing in black people's face, first of all. Now, I'm not going to go through the sister history and all that and try to break all that. I think that's not necessary. But if you want more clarity on that, you could just look it up for yourself. She putting on a hood girl act. Now, that's just, all right, whatever. But you a politician over a district of black people that's disenfranchised. And you sitting up here playing like you Nunu from ATL. Come on, man. That's crazy.
This weekend about how she had to get fitted for a bulletproof vest because of what she's dealing with. And people like Stephen A. Smith of the world are making it worse for her. So I continue to applaud what she's doing. I continue to applaud.
Making it worse for Stephen A. Smith, making it worse for her. She got to put a bulletproof vest on because Stephen A. Smith said, why do you have to keep going back and forth with the president instead of trying to work with the man and maybe get some of them federal dollars? Because all he was saying was, listen, the resources that your neighborhoods need, that you oversee, they need federal funding. He the man that can get you the federal funding. And contrary to popular belief, Donald Trump would work with Jasmine Crockett. He would. I believe he would. Donald Trump would sit because it'll make him gain favor in the black community. I'm just think about that. Donald Trump won't want to look like he is not racist. He want to look like he look out for black Americans. Who better than somebody like Jasmine Crockett if she was to get her act in order? But man, Stephen A. Smith ain't made her life in danger. You see what these black liberals, the buffoonery that fly out their mouth, because this man had some criticism, actually gave her some game, gave her an ounce of game that she could run with and parlay that into some politics where she could look at her district and get some federal funding. Probably build some parks for the kids, you know what I'm saying? Build some rec centers for the youth, get some, build up some housing. You know what I'm saying? Money for people to get affordable housing. I mean, federal funding is a beautiful thing.
The way she just shows up and does her job, and she's got to deal with it from the Stephen A. Smiths to the Laura Loomers of the world. But luckily, she knows that you and us and everybody in our sphere have her back. But she shouldn't have to be out there being targeted like this. But when you're fighting for the people, when you're fighting for the truth, you are going to get haters like that.
Targeted? What haters? I'm just gonna let this. I'm gonna let this play. I know y'all probably get tired of me, but every time I hear these liberals talk, I just like all he did was ask a question like, why you gotta keep going back and forth? The man won the election, bro. Let's go.
And I'm hoping that Stephen A. Smith has gotten enough blowback that he will leave her alone. But I know she's probably unfazed by it, but enough of us are pissed off about it. But she needs to keep doing her thing. We have her back. And yeah, she's like, yo, I'm even out here agreeing with Marjorie Taylor Greene because Jasmine Crockett is about the work of the people. And it doesn't matter who is on a different side of the party or political spectrum. If they're about the people, she's going to be there, unlike Stephen A. Smith.
We believe there's some.
The thing that also is crazy here to me, Renita, is if you don't actually know, this is what a lot of people don't understand. A lot of people don't even understand what the hell a member of Congress does. People don't even know what the hell a state rep does or a state senator. They don't really know what a council member does. And I say this all the time. And so this notion that you got 435 members of the House, 100 in the United States Senate, but there are so many different things that a member of Congress works on. Not only your constituent services, okay, their job is to serve their constituencies, but also they have committee assignments. And so that's the unsexy stuff. That's the stuff nobody wants to talk about. Now, we show a lot of her comments in hearings, also a Congresswoman Summer Lee, a Congresswoman Ayanna Pressley. But unless you are a C-SPAN, nut, you don't see this stuff. So I heard this. It was just, to me, it was just a silly commentary from Stephen A. So I'm like, dude, you just don't even know what the hell member of Congress does.
All right, man. So we get the gist of that, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, the whole time, Stephen A. Smith just asked a question, bro. Like, he asked the question, like, can't you just sit up here and try to reach across the aisle, you know what I'm saying, to work with the president? Now, if Kamala Harris would have won, I would say the same exact thing if the Republicans were acting like this, going back and forth, disrespecting. I'd be like, hey, she in the office. If you don't like the president, you still got to respect the office, especially as a politician that's in Congress. When have we ever seen politicians going back and forth with each other like rappers, man? And I'm talking about Trump too. Like, a lot of that stuff he engaged into be silly too, to be a little goofy. But it's Trump though, you know what I'm saying? So they feel like they got to get on his level or whatever. But you're not gonna out troll Donald Trump, man. He 57, he 50 Cent level troll. You feel me? So Jasmine Crockett being a black woman in Congress in position, you know, I just think about black women that were politicians, man, like Condoleezza Rice. And I said this on my first initial breakdown of this, and I wanted to come and do this to kind of see exactly what was said so we can break it down. And I can tell you, I go through the same thing with black people, man. Because I rock with Trump, I gotta be a coon. If I don't agree with the community, I gotta be all this and all that, and I'm a sellout and all. No, I'm about, you know what I'm saying, conservative values. I'm sorry, I just was raised that way. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand, man. I don't understand. But let's look at some more clips from the community, man. And this one was really crazy, man. The rapper Plies, oh man, he went clean off on Stephen A. Smith, man. Now we saw what Stephen A. Smith said, it wasn't much or nothing, man. But this dude Plies, man, he went clean off on Stephen A. Smith, man. I don't even think this was necessary, man. Oh man, let's get off into this, man.
As a few choice words for Stephen A. Smith after his confrontation with Jasmine Crockett.
And dear motherfucking house, yeah, motherfucking house. Stop getting motherfucking mad at everybody else, because everybody else don't want to be a motherfucking house like you. Be happy you a house. Be glad it worked out for you and your family. But everybody don't want to be no motherfucking house. Oh, you ought to be nice to master. You ought to get along with master to get Everybody don't want to get along with Master.
Now, hold fast, bro. Now, what I do have to say, man, you hear Plies going off like you trying to be cool with Master and all this. You consider Donald Trump your master? That's what you saying? Like, this the thing, man. But like with the community, man, you know what I'm saying? Like the stuff that come out their mouth, they expose themselves. You sat up here and said, we don't rock with master like that? Who is master? Trump your master? Is Donald Trump, you consider Donald Trump the master? Like, what's wrong with working with the president if you in Congress to get some stuff done in your community that you represent? You got to be a sellout because you work with the man that's in office? I don't understand him. But this is what they do. This is exactly what they do. This is the man asked a question. Why do you got to keep going back and forth with the president? Y'all rather her do that than to do something for her constituents in Texas? Y'all rather her go out and crash out back and forth on this goofy ass back and forth with the president, making herself look crazy. Because at the end of the day, whether she work with the president or not, he's still going to be the president for the next 4 years. So he got to be a sellout because he asked this question, bro. Ah, man. Let's see some more of what Plies had to say, man.
Some motherfucking people still got motherfucking principles out here, nigga. You's all to get along with Master. You don't say nothing when Master out here talking to everybody crazy, bitch ass.
Now, I will say this. Plies got a point right there. Donald Trump do be out here talking crazy. He do what he do, right? Now, I can say this honestly. Let me get up here, man. I can say this honestly. I don't care what Jasmine Crockett say about Donald Trump. Personally, I don't. She could go back and forth with him all she want to, but at the end of the day, you still got to produce results, man. If you're gonna go back and forth with the president, still produce results. So therefore, you could be like, yeah, I went back and forth, but yeah, that's propaganda. But this the work that I did for my community. That's the difference. Donald Trump say what he say, but one thing you cannot say is Donald Trump ain't out here putting in work. That man has started 8 major wars across the world. What is Jasmine Crockett doing but running her mouth? Donald Trump got in 8 months, he got a record of what he's accomplished. That man completely closed the border. Everything Donald Trump said he was going to do, that man, he been doing it. The only thing he ain't did is them Epstein files. Other than that, everything else he did, he said he was going to do, he been doing it. Jasmine Crockett just known for running her mouth, acting hood and all this here. I'm just saying. So he got a point where, yeah, Donald Trump do, but ain't nobody trying to censor him. You know what I'm saying? He gonna do what he do. Ain't nobody really trying to censor Jasmine Crockett, but Stephen A. Smith wouldn't have a leg to stand on if she was doing some work. You feel me? If she was really doing some work, he wouldn't be able to be validated. Now let's get back to this situation with Plies right quick.
It's cool for motherfucking Master to talk to everybody crazy. No, you's all to get along with Master good does. So sick of you f***ers don't know what to do. Mad because everybody else don't want to be no motherfucking house nigga like you. Be happy you a house nigga. And stop trying to tell some motherfucking body else what to do.
Now, I got to say, I can't take no more of this with this dude, man. I got to say, man, Plies, I'm just saying, bro. Like on some real, like let's be real, man. Plies is one of them rappers, bro, where you educated, bro. You went to college too. So maybe why is you this mad? The only reason I can think you this mad is because you just like Jasmine Crockett. You put on this hood persona and all this in your music. All you did was send the youth off through your music. Let's be clear. Your whole career in rap was rapping about being a goon and a goblin and all that. But actually, nigga, you graduated from college. You sitting up here talking about working with Massa, and you sitting in a luxury vehicle. You sitting up here, you worth $6 million. You a millionaire yourself. So at some point, you done work with Massa, but you want to throw rocks at Stephen A. Smith? When Stephen A. Smith ain't never sent no young people out to go do no crime. You promoted a false image in your music. Because that ain't even you, Plies. So for you to come out here mad because what he said about Jasmine Crockett, do it resonate with you? Just saying, man, the community. And I ain't got no beef with Plies, man, but I'm just saying, though. Hey, man, let's swing it over here, man. Because, you know, the Breakfast Club, they had to weigh in. Yeah, man, we're going there tonight. This morning. By the time y'all catch this. But yeah, let's see what they had to say over at the Breakfast Club.
Stephen A. Smith is in some hot water. The people are really upset at him right now because
What'd he do now?
He made some comments about Jasmine Crockett and the way she expresses herself. Let's take a listen to Stephen A.'s original comments on Jasmine Crockett expressing herself.
You Jasmine Crockett or somebody like that. Ladies, I respect intelligent women, no doubt. But how a Jasmine Crockett chooses to express herself, I'm like, is that going to help your text? Aren't you there to find a way to get stuff done as opposed to just being an impediment to what Trump wants? I'm just going to go off about Trump, cuss him out every chance I get, say the most derogatory, incendiary things imaginable, and that's my day's work. That ain't work. Work is saying that's the man in power. I know what his agenda is. I'm not exactly in a position to stop him since the Republicans have the Senate and the House. But maybe if I'm willing to work with this man, I might get something out of it for my constituents. She's supposed to be there to represent the people of Texas.
The days you move more are the days you need more from your water. Smart Water Alkaline with antioxidant helps you.
Well, those were his original comments, right? So since those comments, a ton of people have spoken out against what he's saying and defending Jasmine Crockett. I saw Willie D speak out, Steven Jackson, Tamika Mallory is calling for people to turn Stephen A. Smith off and treat him and his show like the NFL. And Bakari Sellers.
Treat him in the show like the NFL.
Like not watch
Everybody watches the NFL.
She's saying she wants people to treat it like the NFL, or like we did at one point with the NFL when we talked about not watching it.
That never happened.
And then
no love to me, that's my sister, but that never happened.
Also as well, and Stephen A. Smith mentions this in his new response that we'll play. He has an issue with Bakari Sellers and something Bakari Sellers said about his original comments on a Native Land podcast. Let's take a listen to Bakari Sellers defending Jasmine Crockett.
There is a through line between the Ice Cubes and the Jason Whitlocks and the Stephen A. Smiths. These individuals.
Man, did this dude just say, did he just throw Ice Cube in there, bro? What the hell did Ice Cube do? Man, that's crazy, man. That sounds like another video or something.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Sabanson. Welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamers Pro Show.
Stephen A. Smith is in some hot water. The people...
Hold on, my bad. I clicked the wrong button. Let me fast forward over here to the dude. Talk about Ice Cube.
Cubes and the Jason Whitlocks and the Stephen A. Smiths. These individuals have been around since we have been on this freedom struggle. There have always been individuals out there which exhibit behaviors of charlatans who utilize, some people are in it for the change and some people are in it for the change, right? And I think that that's indicative. And they find the easiest path to the front of the line. And Stephen A. Smith is someone who doesn't have the depth to talk about House oversight or the appropriations process, right? And how you're able to bring resources back to your community or what Jasmine is doing. So he rather lampoon her.
What a beta male this dude is. Like, you capping, you done went all over the board talking about Ice Cube. You throwing people in this situation that don't even have, called him a charlatan. Basically, you called this man a fraud. You basically called the man a fraud because he asked Jasmine Crockett, couldn't you have time better spent working on trying to build something for your constituency? You done called the man a charlatan, bro? Wow, then threw Ice Cube in there. What the hell did Ice Cube do?
So Stephen A. Smith has been seeing all of this outrage, and he says, normally he does his show at a certain time every week, but he decided to do an emergency episode to get back with the people who have something to say. So he went on his show, straight
emergency episode,
Straight Shooter with Stephen A. Smith, and
what was this last night? I must have missed this.
Last night, yes, that's what I was listening to.
I thought he was on vacation. Wasn't he on vacation or something like that?
He said he came back because he's been seeing all this conversation, some from people he thought were his friends, and he has some things that he needs to say. So let's take a listen to number 4.
Wow, Willie D. You sure are uplifting. I mean, I got to be touched. That was inspiration. Really, that really, really was. That was.
Man, speaking of Willie D, man, I got mad respect for the Ghetto Boys. We can stop there right there. I don't want to, the Breakfast Club, man, whatever, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it is what it is with the Breakfast Club, man. We ain't going to get off it today because I want y'all to hear Stephen A's response, but in chronological order for how I got this show laid out. So we're going to end with the Breakfast Club right there. But did you hear how the man sat up there, named Ice Cube, and basically said that Stephen A. Smith is a charlatan? If y'all don't know, that's basically like a fraud that's just trying to get their bread on at any, they don't have no type of moral compass. They just throw anybody under the bus. And I don't think he threw Jasmine Crockett under the bus, bro. He asked the question. But see, when you a lot of Stephen A's support system is the community. You know what I'm saying? They look at him like he's still like a Democrat or something. So how dare you, you know what I'm saying, question a black queen, a black woman in front of everybody like that. They not mad of what he said. They mad at the fact that he said anything. Now, any man that's an alpha male, how could you be a Democrat at this point? You can't even have an opinion. You got to act like dude, that beta male dude that we just heard that sitting up there through a whole nother, you just threw Ice Cube under the bus for no reason. What the hell Ice Cube do? Only thing I know with Ice Cube, he came with the $500 million, billion dollar, I think it was a $500 billion platinum plan. Maybe it was $1 million, I don't know. But it was a lot of bread. Back when Joe Biden and Trump was going back and forth, 4-5 years ago, trying to see who was going to be the president. He presented his plan. It was an economic plan, basically reparations for black people that he came up with, and he presented it to the Biden administration, and he presented it to Trump administration. Like, man, you know what I'm saying? I'm not a Democrat or a Republican. I just got a plan to help black people, man, get what we rightfully deserve. Biden looked at the plan, looked it over, I'll get back to you. Trump looked at the plan, I like this, I want to implement some of this. But Trump ended up losing that election, and Joe Biden became the president and never got back with Ice Cube. So Ice Cube tried to look out for black people just because he sat down with Donald Trump. The community got mad at him when he tried to do something for black people. Ice Cube already rich. He out the way. He trying to look out for his people. Sat down with somebody that was the president at the time just to try to work out a deal on their behalf. In the community, the cult-like behavior, just because he sat down and had a conversation, he had to be a coon. Let's think about that. Look at the capacity of that. Mr. NWA himself, Mr. F the police himself, a coon? That's crazy work right there. But that's what the community do when they disagree with you. They'll throw Ice Cube under the bus and call him a coon when he was running around talking about F the police with a whole Jerry curl in the 80s. Crazy work, right? Crazy work, man. Listen. Let's look some more. Before we get into Stephen A. response, this is a great lineup right here, man. You got Willie D off in here too talking about the man. Hey, man, this right here, like I said, it leads to a more detailed conversation. But let's get off into this right here.
But I felt compelled to come on the air a little bit early this week after what I've had to endure this weekend. What I had to endure this weekend were an abundance of people talking a whole lot of stuff about me because they did not like what I had to say about Representative Jasmine Crockett.
You know, and I would put Stephen A. Smith in that category too. I'm mad at y'all for having joy. I'm mad at y'all for having success. I'm mad at y'all for surpassing us on college campuses. And so it's a small sect of men that are so angry and hurt.
All right, man. This clip giving me some trouble, but I'm about to run it back and hopefully this play all the way through because I want to address some things in this clip.
But I felt compelled to come on the air a little bit earlier this week after what I've had to endure this weekend. What I had to endure this weekend were an abundance of people talking a whole lot of stuff about me because they did not like what I had to say about Representative Jasmine Crockett.
You know, and I would put Stephen A. Smith in that category too. I'm mad at y'all for having joy. I'm mad at y'all for having success. I'm mad at y'all for surpassing us on college campuses. And so it's a small sect of men that are so angry and hurt that they're willing to align with the people who oppress us. What am I getting wrong? Because if you listen to
Whoa. The inflammatory rhetoric of this young lady to say that we people that voted for Trump aligning with our oppressor? Who was oppressed? You oppressed? I know I'm not oppressed. You watching this, are you oppressed? As a Black American, are you oppressed? So if we voted for Trump, we align with your oppressor? Huh? I'm just saying, like who's oppressed in 2025? Now, maybe in 1965, but in 2025, who in the hell is oppressed, man? Who Donald Trump oppressing, man, right about now? Who feel oppressed? Get your goof ass out of here. Ain't nobody oppressed. What are you talking about, lady? Who oppressed? I ain't oppressed. You feel me? This is the community. They still feel like we on the plantation field or something, bro. Like they need to update they race relations in America, bro. Like shit to change, bro. We're not oppressed. I got a whole passport, bro. I could go wherever I want to go. Who oppressed? That's what I'm saying. Like the mentality of the liberals and the conservative, totally different. This lady just sat up here and said Stephen A. sided with her oppressor. So in her mind, Donald Trump is her oppressor. You heard earlier, Plies referred to Donald Trump as massa. You see the slave mentality with these people? If you a Democrat and you black, man, you tweaking. Ain't no way in hell I'm finna give Donald Trump or nobody else that much power to say they my massa. What? Listen, let me fall back. But I'm gonna jump back in if she says some crazy shit again.
Stephen A. Smith, and you find anything other than some absolute pure self-hating little dick energy nonsense from that half-witted idiot basking in the non-existent rays of his own ignorance, it is
what? Whoa, she just disrespected the manhood because he had an opinion. She done called the man little dick. Oh snap! Wait a minute. Listen, bro. And this is the same dude that was talking about Ice Cube sitting next to it. The beta males that's in that room right now. The beta male energy, man. I know these niggas smell like they got their girl perfume on. They ain't even got no manly perfume on. They wearing whatever they take a shower, use her soap. What the hell is going on in America, man, with these people, man? She just sat up there disrespected this man, talking about he got low, small, whatever energy, bro. Because he had an opinion? You know she's single, unless she a butch. What the hell is going on in this clip here? I got to turn the volume up. Matter of fact, let's take that back a little bit. Let's take it back.
of men that are so angry and hurt that they're willing to align with the people who oppress us. What am I getting wrong? Because if you listen to Stephen A. Smith and you find anything other than some absolute pure self-hating little dick energy nonsense from that half-witted idiot basking in the non-existent rays of his own ignorance, it is sad to me that he even gets an audience of black men. Why aren't black men right now saying, Stephen A. Smith, we banning him, we're not listening to his podcast, we're not watching his show.
Damn, so she wants Steve. Hold on. The hypocrisy in this from the community. The hypocrisy in this, you want this man canceled. Cancel culture. You want this man Stephen A. out of everything that Stephen A. Smith. I don't agree with everything Stephen A. Smith has said, but he's a successful black man. And just because I disagree with that man don't mean I want to see him canceled just for a disagreement, right? This lady suggested that all black men should stop listening to Stephen A. Smith because he had a criticism of a black woman. Didn't disrespect her. But the simple fact that he even questioned her, he should be canceled. Cancel culture. And you got these beta males sitting up here co-signing this foolishness. Unbelievable, man. I'm telling you, the dude sitting next to her, he probably got some cherry blossom, cherry bloom lipstick, chapstick in his, not lipstick, but chapstick in his pocket. You a man, you supposed to get the original. Don't get no flavored chapstick, nigga. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Beta male energy over here to even sit there and endure this young lady sitting up here saying that man need to be canceled. You ain't got no man. You ain't no man. You ain't got no man. And you over there, you ain't no man. To sit up there and tolerate a woman sitting up there saying something like that in your face with that cherry blossom chapstick in your back pocket. Man, this is crazy.
Show anymore. That's what black women do. We organize.
Yeah, but this.
I do not like him. I peeped him early. I knew what he was about. Let me tell you something, family. Anytime I hear racist white people say they like you and you black, I already know you're a sellout.
Whoa. Whoa. Hold on. All right. We can stop that right there. Now, y'all see the backlash? They got Willie D of the Ghetto Boys out here, man. Say, man, if racist white people say they like you, already know you a sellout. Wow. Do y'all see how deep this got in the community? When you got a rap legend come out here from Ghetto Boys, Willie D, basically saying, man, Stephen A. Smith a sellout. Because he sat up there and asked the question of Jasmine Crockett. This shit go deep. It is deeper than what scratches the surface with black people right about now in America. Much respect for Willie D. Grew up on the Ghetto Boys the whole night. But, bro, y'all sound crazy as hell. That man didn't say nothing wrong. He didn't say nothing that her grandfather or her father wouldn't have said. The simple fact that he said it publicly in front of white people is what y'all mad about. Y'all more mad at what he said than the actual problem itself. You an educated black woman in position. You could do so much more. You still can. But instead of taking see, one thing I say about my people and I love black people, accountability, man, we got a problem with that. We got a problem with that. And if you speak on that, and I've been called every name in the book, look at me. Do I look like a coon? Do it look like I would be kissing anybody's ass? No, they know that. But just having the gall to ask for accountability for another black person, I'd be called a coon. I have been. And just because I think Jasmine Crockett could get more bees with honey than with vinegar for her community, the black community that she serves, they continue to call me a coon, man. I mean, they'll treat me just like Stephen A. Smith. And that's a problem in the community, man. That's the problem. That's why we had the issues that we have. Because the mentality, like we seen with Plies and Willie D and Roland Martin, when we should be able to reach across the aisle. But I do want to get into Stephen A. Smith. And it's been a great video, you know what I'm saying? Because we get the chance to chop it up. I might need to do a part 2 to this. But let's see what Stephen A. Smith had to say. All right. Let's get off into this here.
Take a listen to what I had to say last week, please. You Jasmine Crockett or somebody like that. Ladies, I respect intelligent women, no doubt. But how a Jasmine Crockett heard people. Take a listen to what I had to say last week, please. You Jasmine Crockett or somebody like that. Ladies, I respect intelligent women, no doubt. But how a Jasmine Crockett chooses to express herself, I'm like, is that going to help your district in Texas? Aren't you there to find a way to get stuff done as opposed to just being an impediment to what Trump wants? How much work goes into that? I'm just going to go off about Trump, cuss him out every chance I get, say the most derogatory, incendiary things imaginable, and that's my day's work. That ain't work. Work is saying that's the man in power. I know what his agenda is. I'm not exactly in a position to stop him since the Republicans have the Senate and the House. But maybe if I'm willing to work with this man, I might get something out of it for my constituency. Because like Joe Manchin said, he's there to represent, or was there for 15 years to represent the people of West Virginia. She's supposed to be there to represent the people of Texas. I don't know. Maybe that just sounds ignorant because it's so simple. But it ain't that damn complicated. We make it complicated. Damn, it's frustrating. It really can be. And all the verbiage and all the nonsense that I've heard over the last few days.
I'm really trying to understand what the backlash is and why people feel compelled to get upset at the fact that Stephen A. Smith actually had some constructive criticism. And when I say constructive criticism, it's truly constructive because he didn't say anything incendiary. He didn't go off about her looks. I mean, he was way nicer than I am when it comes to all of the nonsense and the cosplaying that comes along with Jasmine Crockett because, you know, according to different reports, Jasmine Crockett is really new, right? She didn't really grow up in the hood. She not all of that or whatever. And so she's out here actually imitating and cosplaying what the perpetual stereotype is of a Black woman is by getting all extra with the butterfly eyelashes and all of the sassiness and all of the comments and stuff like that. And so Stephen A. Smith decided that he wanted to have constructive criticism and use his platform to maybe incentivize people to work together with the Trump administration because he doesn't necessarily disagree with everything that Trump is doing so that Democrats like Jasmine Crockett could also hold power and then get some things for their constituents back where she's from in Dallas. But instead, they decided to reject them and then try to say cancel culture on Stephen A. Smith.
All right. And I totally agree now. Shout out to Anton Daniels. I should have said that at the beginning of the clip. You know what I'm saying? The brother was spot on, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, what in the world is the problem with trying to work with, you know, every day we go to work with people that we might not like. They might not like us. But it ain't about that. You know what I'm saying? It's about, like, man, getting the job done. And, you know, hey, I could tell, like, with the stuff that Jasmine Crockett be saying, really should be like on her off time when she ain't in the office or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like he said, like I'll be way more critical than Stephen A. Smith. So if y'all feel like that about Stephen A. Smith, I know y'all look at me like this man. I might as well be a white supremacist if y'all mad at me, mad at what Stephen A. Smith said. I might be a white supremacist. That's what I'm saying with Anton, but you see the difference with, now we saw what the liberals had to say. Now you see why I rock with the Black conservatives, because they come from a more logical thinking, you know what I'm saying, mindset. And shout out to this brother here, man. We're going to get up out of here on this note, but we got a little commentary to deal with, and that's a righteous perspective. You know, they had a good panel about the situation from a conservative perspective, a Black conservative perspective, a whole bunch of Black conservatives analyzing this situation. I thought this was a fascinating, you know, this right here shows the difference between the Black liberals and the Black conservatives, this panel full of Black conservatives and what we've seen so far. So let's dive off into this.
Hey, welcome back to ARP. Stephen A's been coming with the smoke here recently. Yeah. Check this out.
I mean,
but they would let's take that and take it
people who like
white men.
Yeah, and they think that they think that Jasmine Crockett talks with her neck.
No, I'm not just saying
it's too loud and snaps her fingers and all that, and they caricature her like he's doing.
Yeah.
And so my point though is that I didn't like the back and forth with Jasmine Crockett and Nancy Mace or whoever it was, right? But
Nancy Mace is the one that got violent. She was the one that said, "Let's take it outside."
I know them both very well.
Taylor Greene.
I know them both very well, and I, you know, that just because I was in the legislature, so I look at that totally different. However, I will tell you that there is a through line between the Ice Cubes and the Jason Whitlocks and the Stephen A. Smiths, and these individuals, and Ice Cube may be slightly different than the other two, but these individuals have been around since we have been on this freedom struggle. There have always been individuals out there which exhibit behaviors of charlatans who utilize, you know, some people are in it for the change and some people are in it for the change, right? And I think that that's indicative. And they find the easiest path to the front of the line. And Stephen A. Smith is someone who doesn't have the depth to talk about House oversight or the appropriations process, right? And how you're able to bring resources back to your community, or what Jasmine is doing. So he rather lampoon her, or instead of having a constructive conversation. And so I've said what I've had to say about Stephen A. Smith in my book anywhere I can. I don't have a lot of use for him in the political dialogue. I think that there are individuals who he matriculated with at Winston-Salem State University that are extremely disappointed about the man he's become.
It's so disheartening to me. It's frustrating, one, because anytime we speak on this, it's like man haters and all this. But I feel such confidence in Black men. I've never bought into the idea that all these Black men are voting for Trump. Like, they vote overwhelmingly Democrat. We're pretty much in line with each other. What you all are saying is no, they are, and the data shows that there have been inroads among Black men. I want to ask why, because it is frustrating to me, and it feels heartbreaking, to be honest, because we are impacted by this system as well. It's not a matter of who's impacted worse. We're impacted differently. We sit at the intersection of being Black and being women. And so when men are frustrated with this system, it feels like they fight us. And I would put Stephen A. Smith in that category too. I'm mad at y'all for having joy. I'm mad at y'all for having success. I'm mad at y'all for surpassing us on college campuses. And so it's a small sect of men that are so angry and hurt that they're willing to align with the people who oppress us. What am I getting wrong?
What Bakari Sellers needs to recognize is, why don't you tell what the truth is? Why don't you speak about the level of resentment that you really, really have? That the American people are more willing to listen to somebody like me or the others that you mentioned rather than you, who's been doing this for years out of South Carolina and then some. Nobody care what you have to say. I'm giving you pub right now by talking about you.
Hey, now, hold fast. Stephen A. Smith finna man, I'm so happy he lit that beta male on fire. He finna light him on. Yo, you got flame. We about to flame him. We about to flame buddy ass. Bacardi. What? You got flame his ass. He finna flame, dude. Stephen A. Smith, I know you ain't gonna see this video, but if somebody could tell him, don't you dare apologize for what you said, because you ain't say a damn thing wrong, bro. Stand on it. Stand on what you said, because you ain't say nothing wrong, bro. Stand on that shit, bro. Stand on that shit. That's what's wrong now. You got these beta males out here bowing down. You know what I'm saying? To these Black liberal women and all this. When everything all out of whack. Men supposed to be the head of the household. Don't you dare apologize, Stephen A. Smith. You hear me? Stephen A. You hear me, nigga? Don't apologize, bro. Stand on that shit, bro. On the real, stand on that shit, because you ain't say nothing wrong. You didn't disrespect and check that beta male, put him in his place, and stand on that shit, bro. Salute Stephen A. Smith. I don't even rock with Stephen A. Smith like that, but right about now, Stephen A. Smith, stand on that shit, my nigga. I salute you.
Because this is the kind of individual he is. I could come at somebody like that who chooses to be disrespectful. You know my number. You could have reached me a long time ago. We could have had discussions a long time ago. The only time you ever reached out to anybody is when you wanted to sell your book.
Come on.
So it doesn't matter to me what you've accomplished. It doesn't matter to me how intelligent you are. It doesn't matter to me how knowledgeable you are, because nobody wants to listen to you, because your intent and your disposition and your default position is to attack personally people you don't even know. A charlatan? That implies I'm a fraud. How am I fraudulent? My work speaks for itself. I've been doing this for years. And SiriusXM wanting to come to me, I got news for you. CNN will want me before they want you, and you work there. Not to mention other networks. Don't hate on us because of what you ate. Step up and be more than that by focusing on the issues. And if we don't know, teach us. That's all you got to do. Teach us. If you're right, we'll listen to you. And instead of me calling you out on the airways, what I do instead is sit on the air and say, hey, this makes perfect sense, man. Bakari Sellers is right. Just like I've said Van Jones is right. Just like I've said others are right. On the left and the right. You bought and paid for on one side. Don't even want to hear what the other has to say. But you talking about me. Sit your ass down. I asked a question.
If I'm being honest with you, dental implants hadn't even crossed my mind. I thought I was going to end up with
that part.
Drop that Stephen mic. Stephen A. don't care no more, man. He is not concerned with these folks anymore because the same things that we've discussed on this show a multitude of times, I think Stephen A. now is starting to see it.
Yep.
He is starting to see that you cannot have your own mind when it comes to these people.
No.
You have to be in lockstep with everything, the full agenda of the left. And if you are not, they're trying to cancel you. Tamika Mallory said, can we turn this dude off?
She did say that.
The Boule gatekeepers, let's just call them who they are and what they are. The Boule gatekeepers are upset that someone of the status of a Stephen A. Smith, who has the type of cachet and the microphone and the platform that he has, is telling the truth, not only to Black folks, but to Americans in general. And he is calling it out, and they can't stand it. And they're trying to do everything that they can to cancel the man. The problem is, y'all don't have the power to cancel that man.
That's right.
I'm like, Black women don't watch Stephen A. They don't even watch. Most Black women aren't watching sports like that enough to cancel a Stephen A. Smith on an ESPN. And I don't even watch ESPN like that anymore. They're not watching his show on YouTube. They were never watching that. And they don't listen to sports radio talk on Sirius XM. So they don't even have the power that they act like they have. And to be honest with you, man, no one is listening to these fools. The Native Land Podcast and all the money that they have behind them from iHeartRadio, bro, 100-some-odd-thousand subscribers. Nobody's watching them like that. He's absolutely right. Go ahead, Jay Whip.
Okay, so my girl in the beginning, man, thank you for not playing that part where she was talking about, she was really being disrespectful to Stephen A. Smith, talking about talking about genitalia and stuff like that. Because I was ready. I got my notes ready. I was ready to talk about that. But I love the fact that she has to say that she's pro-male. And I think that's funny because I very rarely have ever had to qualify something saying I'm pro supporting women.
Amen.
I give my bona fides all the time that I'm a husband of one and a father of two all the time, but I very rarely have to say I'm pro woman. You know why? Because the stuff I say don't sound crazy. So the fact that she has to qualify and say I'm pro male and proceed to go down and slaughter men. Oh, but I'm pro male. Man, please go have a seat. I think this is very interesting. We're now in an environment where women clearly are making it plain they don't want to be led by men. And she's literally saying she wants Stephen A. Smith to walk lockstep with her, Black women. Not Black women follow their men and say, okay, the men are going in this direction. I'm following my man. No. Y'all need to follow us, which is crazy, nasty work. I don't know what the guy's talking about. What are we struggling against again? I don't remember. Please, if you could drop me a note in the chat. What are we actually struggling for? I mean, we have the freedom to do everything we want to do in this country. This oppression narrative is really getting old and tired. It's threadbare. It's tired. It's like the rehash of Star Wars. We're done with it. We're done with it. Don't bring Palpatine back. We're done with that. Don't bring Indiana Jones back. He's finished. Stop it. But they keep bringing up this oppression. Who's oppressing you? And maybe you should say directly and specifically who it is that is oppressing you. I thought it was kind of cute that they threw shade at Ice Cube when he is doing, and again, what is Ice Cube doing? Doing his own thing, taking care of his own family,
making money,
doing what's right for his people. Now, that Netflix recent movie, that was probably not right for anybody. That's why the aliens won't talk to us. But I digress. But that was a flop. That was a fumble. Everything else Ice Cube has done, you got to give him respect. You got to tip your hat to Ice Cube's grind, and he's taking care of his own family. You don't see Ice Cube all embroiled in foolishness and chicanery until he says something that y'all don't agree with. And I like how you said the black bourgeoisie gatekeepers. And then the personal attack angle, I would like literally Stephen A. Smith has said nothing wrong. And how dare you have an opinion that contradicts that? And mind you, everybody black doesn't agree with everybody black. Go to a cookout and you'll see what happens. Okay, you already know how it's going to go left. We don't agree with ourselves sometimes. I don't agree with myself. So how am I going to agree with everybody black? That's just silly. So the idea that Stephen A. Smith has to walk a certain path in order to be considered. No, what y'all need to do is go ahead and get Stephen A. Smith's address, send him getting off the Democrat plantation passport, because I think the brother's about to join us. I think he's going to leave the foolishness real soon. So send him his passport, let him know where the real cookout is going on, where real freedom is, because I think he's about to leave this foolishness.
And we can leave that right there, man. If y'all want to check that out, man, that's a righteous perspective. Man, go like, share, and subscribe to that platform, man. I'll be over there. They be having a morning show every morning from I think 8:30 my time, you know what I'm saying, Central Standard Time. Great commentary over there, but man, this is a crazy situation because you see the difference, right? You see the difference from the black liberals in the beginning until we just seen the black conservatives. It's a divide in the black community on how we look and view things. And I wanted to bring this to light. And I did my initial reaction, but this is a more in-depth breakdown, listening to both sides and seeing everything. And we went well over an hour to elaborate on this. So I hope y'all excuse me for the time. I didn't want to keep y'all too long. I wanted to try to make it like 45 minutes, but I ain't even show y'all everything that I really wanted to, but I'm working on that to condense the information to bring y'all the best commentary in the shortest amount of time, because I know everybody got things to do, and man, our attention span is really short these days. So, but on some real stuff, man. In conclusion, I totally agree with Stephen A. Smith, like I said from day one. And as black people, we should be able to give each other constructive criticism when we see one of us falling off. Now, you could take it or you could disregard it, but don't take it as disrespect if they weren't disrespectful. Stephen A. Smith he's not a disrespectful. Now, say what you say, he's not a disrespectful dude. He's a very, you know what I'm saying, upscale guy, black man, you know what I'm saying? Very accomplished. So when Stephen A. speaking, he's speaking from a bird's eye view, because he's made it to a certain stature. So he's just trying to get his young sister some game. That's all. And the black community, instead of giving her, like, either allowing her, because I don't even think she really responded herself. You got other people speaking for her. She a grown woman. Jasmine Crockett almost 50 years old. She can speak for herself. She ain't said a word. But you got the community out here capping for her before y'all even know how she really feel about anything. She might take what he say with a grain of salt. She might take what he say disrespectful, or she might take it like, man, that's something I think about. We don't know what Jasmine Crockett feeling, but the whole community felt the way, and they even calling for this man to be canceled. First of all, black people, y'all can't cancel Stephen A. because y'all didn't make Stephen A. Stephen A. got that other money. He signed the contracts with them other people. You can't cancel that man. Black women don't watch Stephen A. Sports, period. Like that, to cancel somebody like Stephen A. He can say what he want to say. And like them black conservatives just said, he gonna be on our side. Now, he was a Democrat. He say he an independent, but I think he lean left more than anything. he gonna be a full-fledged conservative pretty soon. The way y'all coming at him, y'all to push that brother in our direction. And I say, not Republican but conservative. It's a difference. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. What say you, man? We could do a part 2 if y'all want to. You know what I'm saying? It's your boy Jay Taylor, Voices for the Voiceless. We love y'all. And until next time, we should see you soon. Peace and blessings.